Good morning, Cowboy Jim, Fort Mac, Alberta. The ongoing saga of what is happening in the world is best portrayed with people in the Ukraine lying in the streets, dead. You might say, why would that best exemplify what's going on in the world? Well, this reason. Every single life that is lost during this era of horror is valuable. Far more valuable than any politician anywhere who says one thing and does two others, protecting themselves in order to be reelected. I know you get tired of that. I'm pretty tired of it. Putin has asked Syria for forces to come join him in the battle against the Ukraine. He's asked Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping has given his assent, his agreeing with Putin for what Putin is doing. Putin, Xi Jinping, the Iranian people who are in power, not the Iranian people themselves, because indoctrination it's a marvelous thing. It's what Putin is doing, has done in Soviet Russia, and is getting ready to and doing a further escalation of a dictatorial control over common people in their own countries. Justin Trudeau did that with the Canadian Freedom Convoy. Actually, in history, this Canadian Freedom Convoy, I think if there are anyone left, is anyone left alive, they will remember in history what the Freedom Convoy tried to do. And they tried to get the attention of politicians by saying they weren't going to continue be abused, by the political game plan of politicians who truly despise their own people when their own people become something less than obedient. Putin is doing that in Soviet Russia. I hope, my prayer is that there are Russian soldiers who have invaded the Ukraine. They weren't told the truth, but they know now. I mean, they've been there long enough, killed enough people. They should know. But Putin is now starting a cleansing in Russia, a cleansing of his own people. Xi Jinping, same thing previously, I think with the Wiggins, not certain about that. But I am certain of this. Putin's not going to quit. He's not going to change. I'm watching the screen over here, and it says Putin's next move in question as the U.S. rushes arms to the Ukraine. Well, they don't. They haven't. If they had any smarts in the political endeavor in the States, they would have rushed arms to the Ukraine 9 months, a year ago. It's a fact. So, as people, we sit around and say, oh, geez, Do I bother applying for my next job, or is there going to be a next job available to mankind? Who knows? Does it matter? Well, it doesn't matter to those children and women in the movie theater in the Ukraine, clearly marked front and back of the theater complex, children, written in Russian. It still got bombed. They don't even know how many people were in those buildings. Because if you were to see the before and after, you couldn't fathom it. Well, we can't. I can't. I'm a simple rancher, and I watch what Putin is doing and what he's going to continue to do. He is going to kill anyone that stands in his way. Over here in Canada, Justin Trudeau, he declared the Emergencies Act. Used to be called, I was told, maybe true, may not be, that Emergencies Act used to be called the War Measures Act. And I watch the Trudeau government when they condemn the Freedom Convoy truckers as being Nazis, racist, every other ism that I don't know what half of them mean. But if you watch a person determine the equity represented in the person by what it is the person believes and who has been their mentor, mentors plural. Trudeau has said matter-of-factly, openly, that his heroes in this earth would be Xi Jinping and the Communist Party, because they could turn an economy around on a dime. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for him saying that, oh, thank God. The wealthy, who I think in 2025, will fight against the poor in the world. And the wealthy, and profit is not a four-letter word. It's not a curse word. Profit is a good word. It's what entrepreneurs are. I had my first business when I was 16. But I want you to know something. Profit is not the end all. Profit is a means whereby you have a way to reach out and affect change for the good. Don't be surprised with the dictator-like people in the world. That's Justin Trudeau, Biden, the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, Lion Schiff, Macron. He's just trying to survive. The NATO countries over there, because Biden has curtailed any hope in hell that American fossil fuels would ever get over to NATO countries to help. NATO countries, they're watching up close and personal what a raging bull is willing to do when it feels threatened. And all along, Putin has said, if you do this, I'm going to do this. And the cowards in politics, some of them now are calling that they hope someone over in Soviet Russia shoots Putin. Well, that would be a good idea. But yes, what is happening, part of what we call, as believers in God, the end times. If it is sickening in my heart, my soul, my spirit, that so many innocents are being killed. But the dictators in the world, they don't care. They don't care how many children, as long as they're not theirs, how many ladies, as long as it's not theirs. Well, possibly some of them might not agree with that, are the ones who are being killed. When we go to war, it's not the filthy rich who are holding the guns. It's the filthy rich, the governments of the world, who themselves are not even a bit like Zelensky. Zelensky is arming his parliament. And he's trying to do with very little that should have been much by now from the countries like the U.S. Not the United States people, children, not them. But the politicians who pretend to help. And their pretense is plenty if you as a people watching don't realize none of this needed to happen at this time. Oh, I believe it would eventually have happened, but not necessarily at this time. Well, I guarantee you, if Donald Trump were in power, none of this would be going on right now. Because the first tanks that were lined up at the Ukrainian border, Donald Trump, he would have been all over Putin. Putin would never try to destroy a people if Trump were in power. But Trump wasn't, because, well, good voting practices. People, understand something. We are privileged in many ways to, as I sit at my table, I watch news. In Soviet Russia, they're not allowed to watch anything other than Soviet Russia news. And it's not true, it's a lie. And the Russian soldiers manning the tanks surrounding the Ukraine. Perhaps a few might be Putin-like enough to, with a clear conscience, kill women and children. But for the most part, they aren't. For the most part, Russian people, Russian soldiers, are being positioned where they have to stand with Putin unless somebody shoots him. I said 2 weeks ago, somebody needs to shoot Putin, eh? I mean, every dictator in the world should be shot, because they're not doing anything for the common people. It's pretty soon going to be no blue-collar class in the world. They will be very, very rich or very, very poor. I said the other day about a malady that attacked the world a few years ago, and what it couldn't do to destroy hope in the people of the world through fear. All this stuff that's going on is taking over that mission of trying to destroy you. So here, you can be destroyed by Putin, Syrian army moving up to help Putin, Xi Jinping supporting Putin, Xi Jinping getting ready to invade Taiwan, Biden off somewhere having an ice cream. Because that's how, and that's the way he is. He's old. You expect leadership? I'm not young, but I'm not old. But you expect leadership from a United States president who half the people in the U.S. would like to have him do a mental assessment in order to ascertain where's his brain. It's true. So I guess it comes down to what can we do? Not much. But if what we see happening in the Ukraine, getting ready to happen in Taiwan, has happened in the United States because they don't have Donald Trump as a president, they have no leadership. They have a Democratic Party that's owned by Xi Jinping. I mean, what was all that talk about Hunter Biden getting paid millions as an investment person with no experience? None. Or do you expect the Democratic Party, who go into power poor, usually, and come out wealthy? And now Xi Jinping is talking about setting aside the U.S. dollar as the standard throughout the world. There's a reason for that. The people in the U.S. keep making those little bills. They don't have gold to back them up. They do not have national productivity to justify the monies they make. Ergo, inflation. Ergo, the further deterioration of society. And so let's go back. Let's say, okay, what can you do? What can this old Irish cowboy or rancher / truck driver, what can we do? We can pray. People say, I'm pretty rough, eh? They say, what the hell will that do? Well, if you pray correctly, it will keep you, the hell, out of hell. And it may well save a few lives who are being sacrificed by Putin, Xi Jinping, Biden, Democratic Party, and too many people around the world that say, hey, a few million people, it's all right if they die. It's not all right if they die if you're one of those. If that's your child over there laying on the streets, it's not all right. It sure isn't. We need more politicians like Zelensky. He doesn't tell the perfect truth. He tells a lot of truth in the hope that he can embellish it a little and get more moral support from around the world. He's got the world's support. He doesn't have the world politicians' support. Oh, now they say Biden may let Poland, an independent country, yes, part of NATO, but Poland to send MiG fighters into the Ukraine and let the Ukrainians fly them? And why would Biden curtail that? Because it's not part of his game plan. Down deep in his heart, Biden, Democratic Party, they want Putin to win. Xi Jinping, they own Biden. He owns Biden and the Democratic Party. Biden's family is wealthy. No, not because they knew how to work, but they knew how to manipulate. No, well, they say, what does it matter? Well, it matters to the kids and the women lying dead on the streets in the Ukraine. Pray, okay? Take a shot at it. Not going to hurt you. probably help.